Welcome back,
Welcome
Twin
back.
Chickens.
Da 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 da. It's the Twin
McDonald's.
Chickens.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Yeah, dude, heck yeah. We're
Don't wear out the name.
Please wear it out, please, for
For marketing purposes.
my model.
Anyways, we're just grinding, leveling out some stuff.
Yes.
We had an appealing, an amazing last episode, just catching up with you guys in the previous episode, as I just said. Now I'm just rambling, but
It's been good.
anyways, we wanted to talk about how we're gonna learn how to fall and how the donut situation and
Donut
the
is
recent-
code for lockdown.
Exactly.
But yes,
And the world epidemic, as it were.
yes.
That's just our donut is our safe word.
Yeah. So just so you guys know. So I recently, let's take it back a couple of years. I already used to be really big into skateboarding, like really, really big. Like when I was 15, basically my whole high school career was through that. I was skateboarding all the time with my friends, and I've been playing soccer at the same time, and I just let myself go, I guess. Like after that,
Are you feeling a little round around the edges? Or,
yeah, dude, a little round. But I used to be
you
like,
got a fucking butterface, dude.
I know that's what keeps me going, you know. That's what keeps the ladies going. So anyway, I started to get back into skateboarding because I wanted to become more of a healthy individual, because I don't plan to live very long. Because not for the fact of like I'm depressed or anything like that, but more of like the fact that I know that I would rather live a short, exciting life than a long and boring one, at least personally.
Yeah.
So I'm more or less burning both candles, burning both ends of a candle, if that makes sense. And I know that I'm not a healthy person right now, but I wanted to be, at least live for as long as I could, you know. So I know like getting back into skateboarding is gonna like help me get my health back and my endurance back, because I have none. You know, I've basically been, you know, I've lost all my strength and everything. I even lost not my legs per se, like I'm not like on a wheelchair or anything like that, but I have shin splints on my leg. I started developing those, so now I have to put compression sleeves on my legs just to run, because then it just hurts like there's a knife being put in there. But you know, little things like that. Like I never used to do that, but because I stopped, you know, I never was able to be put in a soccer team. You know, like an official soccer team. Like I play scrimmage matches and all that stuff every now and then, but it hasn't been consistent, you know.
Yeah.
And if you know, it's something I love doing, so I have no problem doing that, but I just haven't been doing it. Basically, yeah, getting back into skateboarding is gonna hopefully get my condition back up. It's something I used to love doing, and I used to be really good at it, but muscle memory hopefully brings it all back. And I'm excited, honestly.
Learn how to tray again.
Honestly, so I used to be able to do the best move I could do was a fakie 360 big spin.
Oh, those are good.
That was I could, like, whenever we would play skate. If you guys don't know what skate is, basically you would do a trick, and it's kind of like everyone has to mimic that trick, and if they can't land it, then they take a letter, and it's kind of like a hangman situation where, like, if you get all the letters, then you're out. Basically, and I would always pull out that move, and that was my saving grace. I used to be really good at doing heel flips, kick flips. Varials were harder than anything.
And I forget, varial is just the board.
So it's
circling.
a pop shove it with the kick flip. So
Pop shove. Okay, there we go.
a pop shove it turns the board,
With the
rotates the board, and a kick flip, you know, obviously flips the board.
Yep.
But doing that, oh my, I don't know why those were so hard. I worked one entire summer. Like, I used to be disciplined and dedicated to getting these moves down. And back when I was a kid, skateboarding, it didn't really used to. It was just a way to kill time. Like, now people kill time by just going on their phones and just looking at things or whatever. They don't really explore the world. But this is a way, like, this was an activity that I love to do, and I always wanted to be better. I always wanted to better myself and, like, take the fear out of, like, maybe dropping in or all that stuff. But, like, when I was a kid, I didn't really used to be afraid of so many things, you know. I would just go with the flow, and if I fell, I fell, you know. But I would, like, even as I was going to school, I'd be skateboarding and I would fall, but I'd be like, I still gotta go to school.
Yeah.
These injuries don't really do anything for me. So little things like that. Now as an adult, contrasting now, it's like, oh my god. Falling as an adult, you kind of get scared of like maybe I won't be able to go to work and all that stuff, or maybe I will never recover from this. But I think your bodies are like stronger than we believe them to be. Honestly, we're not as frail as we think we are.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know how you feel. Like you're right now, like you're a decade younger than me. But like, are you afraid of falling, or like what that could mean for you, or what are your thoughts on that?
For me personally, I'm trying to gather a little bit more of my thoughts here, but damn, I really just like completely went blank again.
Yeah,
but
it happens.
when taking falls, personally, I think it's just so much. It's so much easier said than done. Whenever
so lucky
doing
there.
anything,
Yeah.
you just miss everybody that was there. We didn't take him out. He's still there. Nice.
So I'm just gonna do a little save here, a little one of these.
I think it's down and start, or up and start. Sorry.
Safe
Anyways,
state.
I was just trying to gather my thoughts. There's so much. I was probably in more of a fear-driven state when I was younger than I am now.
Right.
As I've grown up, I feel like I've been eliminating all the fear that has been coursing through my veins.
Right.
Taekwondo really helped getting my social presence kind of just there, and I didn't have to worry. I wasn't as aware or anxious about just being around people or doing anything, and performing in front of others and just doing whatever I want and being watched, and that really helped me there. And then the next kind of progressional thing in my life, going to college, during PSEO, that really invigorated my abilities and skills with communication and talking to people and one-on-one and carrying a conversation. That really helped there, and whatever, I guess, anxieties that led with that. And it's just, I was a very quiet kid growing up.
Right.
Always, Mr. Clean Shoes, brushes buttons, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so I've been living, I wouldn't say carefree life, but I'm now progressionally feel like I'm getting more and more comfortable in my own skin and willing to take these risks and falls and learning how to do them, but even at my own pace. Like, it may not be the most extreme thing that I'm I don't know, getting in front of like 10,000 people, but
I mean, it's kind of like the first time you play live. The nerves, the nerves get you, but after a while, the nerves.
I think
get
realize
away.
it's what really is life,
Yeah.
And it makes me happy to reflect at the things we did that I thought was scary when we were in college, even just performing little shows. Thinking back now, that was like those were leaps and bounds for the mental state that I was at.
Oh yeah, definitely.
2 years ago. And
There's a lot of dumb things that we did, but like all in the name of progress, to be honest.
Yeah. Ah! Are you up and start? Look at this dude.
I'm so sad. I didn't want to kill him.
But anyways, yeah. Learn how to take a fall.
Jeez, honestly, Snorlax. Oh, okay, but yeah, like I don't know, dude. Like,
I think
I came out of my shell like through. I think just college just does that for you, because it's an empty slate.
But I want to say,
personify yourself.
Not enough people do that though.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, I've met you, and you were able to help me find my own path. Like, you weren't necessarily paving the way for me, but you opened an option.
Yeah.
And options to be able to express myself and really find my own way.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even take those routes either. They just kind of stay where they're at, and they're content. And as long as I did have some insight too. It's like, as long as you think you're happy or you want to be like that, then that's fine. Then that's all you.
Yeah.
That's on you. I'm just gonna try to capture this.
But also to add on to the kind of skateboard metaphor, the progressional idea of trying to progress is what I meant to say.
Uh-huh.
And the ever the ever-existing thing of trying to better yourself or gain more knowledge, and that's kind of, I guess, part of growing up and why I don't really fear death, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not really a fear of death, or I know there's people my age that like don't want to grow up, that aren't ready to move out of their houses or their parents' house.
There's a way to, and it's kind of scary because I'm really close to becoming, like, I want to become a dad. Obviously, I want to have many kids, and you know, like I said, reflecting on that, it's kind of like, how do you raise your kids to be prepared for that? It's kind of like, it's a really scary thing because you could basically, I don't know, you could take it so many ways, but what I've grown to realize is that you can give so much love to your kids, but at the end of the day, you know, your kids are going to be able to hopefully see what's right and what's wrong. And I think that's your job as a parent. Like, as long as your parent teaches you what's right and what's wrong in the world and gives you the love that you need to the point where you're ready to, you're not going to be ready to leave the house, but you have to. You know, there comes a point where, like, things just need to move forward and you need to make those changes. Oh God. So I think this is why I couldn't capture him, because he just wouldn't get in the freaking ball. Anyway, yeah, just kind of that's kind of my standpoint of, like, you know, taking risk and stuff like that. Things are just gonna naturally happen for you, but you can make actions to, you know, you have power in this world to make actions. You know, you're able to do things.
Exactly, and kind of touching on what is your own destiny when it's your own reality.
Yeah.
I think if you just stop and think about that for a minute, it really kind of dawns on the person you want to be can be the person you will be, but only if you are the person that you will be.
Yeah.
That was super tongue twisty.
I mean, you could
just think about
go through that, yeah.
So just to kind of break that down, you will never be the person you want to be if you aren't already that person. Yeah. But to also think about the reality of future versus present, you can only start being the future person if you start acting now. That's why emphasis on the present, like, and one of the things I used to love, kind of, I guess, reflecting on, you will always have time for what you want.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that. Even if life gets really shitty, or if, you know, there's other things you gotta take care of, if you really want something, you'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, if I really wanted to stay up till 2 a.m. or like play, I don't know, GTA Online with some friends, I know I'm gonna be destroyed when I wake up at 6 a.m. and go to bed at like 2 a.m.
I mean, and then,
but
at the same time, there is, what's it called? Not a regression, but there's consequences
to your actions.
There's also people in your life that don't make that option for you. Like, they don't give you the option to do those things. There's people that try to, I can't even think of the right word. Like, not regress, but like, I was trying to
hold back. Is that what you're trying to say?
They try to hold you back, but not on purpose. It's more of like, this is just because, like,
that's where their reality is right there, and you're maybe trying to move forward in your life. And
yeah. But people don't see you.
And not in a negative way towards out of sight out of mind, but just as a personal reflection, that's kind of where I was feeling with the band. Like, yeah. I'm ready to move forward with my own life in every sense.
Yeah.
Progressionally, musically, and all that. And
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But there are going to be people that are going to not want that for you, you know. But at the same time, that's not their decision to hold you back. That's your decision is to move past that and to, you know, make your life better.
And that's why when you can kind of come across these revelations or even your own personal reflections about growth, or whatever you want to call it, now that you have that knowledge, you kind of start viewing things in a different way, and you start feeling like a different person. It's kind of unlocking those realizations that really kind of change you. And I guess growing up, it was kind of scary to think about change, but in retrospect, I think it's fair to say that I love change, and I feel like I've come a long way even in this past year. In 1 year's time, it's really weird to reflect now that I feel like I've grown more.
Got it! Sorry.
That was just so out of the place. I love how you always say, try something new, and And reflecting now, and having grown some more, and thinking about life, there's so much more to learn. From my favorite name.
Yeah.
There's so much more to learn from taking in new perspectives. And wait, no. Go up there.
Is it there?
It might be right there. Then go to the left. There should be a house. Wait. Go through there. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's right there. Talk to the girl. Whew, we got fly. All right, so I forget what I was saying.
No, I mean, like,
about
that-
life and reflections, but
That's kind of it, man. We need to be able to see where we went wrong and to learn. Oh, a lot of things that I've learned so far is learning to fall, learning to fail, and to be okay with that, because even though you failed at some things, like, those are still a part of you. You cannot you can't ignore those things, you know. Like, whenever you make mistakes, or when you're ashamed about doing something, that's why I feel like a lot of people get into drugs, you know, for the wrong because they don't know how to forgive themselves, or how to, you know, how to accept who they are as a person before falling into a sedative or all that stuff, you know. That's why a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people just go through that. And make the wrong decisions without learning why they're doing these things, and
yeah.
all these self-reflections, all that stuff. I need to heal these guys. They're gonna die. But yeah, just as a side note, that's a couple things that I learned. Like, my philosophies have been, what's it called? Learning to forgive yourself and to forgive others. Learning what it means to love yourself. Because you can't love anybody unless you love yourself. That's how I feel.
That is true.
Because you don't know, if you can't love yourself, then how are you supposed to love somebody else? Like, it doesn't. Those things don't make sense. And to view certain individuals, not objects, or like as just a person. Like, view them as who they are and because everyone is.
But then also,
you know, aspires to be something.
I've learned to try to view people for their potential. Is another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, view them for who they are, but I also believe wanting to see their personal growth and value, and that's. I feel humbled to kind of be succumbed into just thinking about our relationship, or even how we kind of like got to know each other. I was, you know, the most awkward person you could probably ever meet. I mean, you've met maybe more as of Anime Club, but thinking about the progressional change of me personally in 2.5 years. But even just to take that out completely, thinking about random strangers you'll meet, just simple communications with them, you can even not jump to conclusions, but you can kind of start picking out the type of person they are, if you could even label people.
Right.
And that's a whole nother demeanor of its own, kind of identifying. And it's crazy to think there's another philosophy that we always try to divide ourselves as humans, thinking that we are separated and separate individuals.
Yeah.
When in reality, we are one. I have to look this up on my phone. I think I have it saved somewhere.
Yeah.
But the idea that, like, the Earth, or humans as like a race, we think we're so separate individuals, but when in reality we are just kind of one. And
yeah, I mean, like, the idea that, like, everyone goes through, you know, certain aspects of life. Like, we all feel sadness, happy, and content, and all that stuff, some more than others. But that's why, like, we all feel these things. Some of us are less aware of those things, but that's why there's, like, chaos sometimes, or there's wars and all that stuff. But, like, it's all a chaotic balance, you know. It's all meant to be how it's supposed to be. That's why you can't really, you know, you can only control yourself, and yourself is the only person you're supposed to control, and you can't be responsible for anyone else's life. You know, you can only guide them to be to the right path, but it's up to them to take that path once you get them there. You know, there's a lot of little things that I've grown to realize and understand, and how do I, you know, see the world and see people and all that stuff like that. So for me though, I don't know. I like to live alone now. Like I love spending time with people, but like at the same time, like I'm in a place where like I just want peace, and sometimes I can't find that, like with people, with family, or with anyone. But this is peaceful for me. This is what I want. It's just keep doing this. This is this is fun. But there's times where like you can't, when you can't have that with people or with someone, you rather just like be able to. If you can't find that, then you just make it. Things like that. As far as that goes, I want to be able to, I don't know, get my house soon. When I get my house, that's gonna be the day that I know that I'll be finally able to do the things that I want to stop being oppressed, I guess. And there's only one person that does oppress me, as far as that goes. But like, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm pretty sure you went through the same thing. But like, my dad right now is the only one that's the only negative thing in my life right now. Where he doesn't intentionally try to oppress me, but he does every step of the way. And like,
could you elaborate? Just like, you don't have to get into details, but
dad issues. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of things. Like, for example, I wanted to play soccer as a kid, and they always blamed it on like, well, you were playing video games all the time, and you never wanted to do that. Like, that's not true. I remember playing soccer all the time. I played video games because like that was the thing that I did. You bought me it, so I'm gonna play it, and it's something I love to do. But it's not the only thing I love to do.
Yeah.
It's you shaped that reality for me, but that you made those decisions for me. But that's not anything I was capable of doing. That's why like I hate that when someone tells me to do something. I get so angry, and I hate that people think they can take control of me. For the wrong reasons. That's why I hate being oppressed, and I hate all those things. So, my main thing now was like, my little sister, she wanted to get a skateboard, and I was telling my dad like, this is what she wants for her birthday, and he's like, I'm not gonna buy her that because she's gonna get hurt. I'm like, yeah, we all get hurt, but like, that's not your decision. If this is something she wants, you can't take that away from her because this is what she wants. This is what's gonna make her happy. But if you do that to her, you're gonna do what you did to me to her. You're gonna not let her be able to experience these things and take these things away from her, and that's not your decision. Like, it is your decision as a father to look out for your kids and to be there for your kids, but at the same time, you're taking something away from them that could make them happy.
And I think even in a more indirect way, I've kind of found my own desire to fail. That sounds super indirect, but like, even when doing things, I've wanted my own independence at times, where even if I knew I was gonna fail, I was happy with like, I'm doing this by it was more of a pride of wanting to have an independence, even at little moments when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, we all want that. Like, we all want to be able to have our voice heard, or to be taken seriously.
Yeah. And I think I really resonated with what you were saying about like either not getting what you want, or that's not the way to put it, but kind of having that taken away from you, or not having certain choices.
Yeah.
And have a say in things.
Yeah, which is, it's just not fair. Like, it's like, life isn't fair, but it's more of the fact of like, you can that you can do these things. And I'm not trying to like buy a gun, I'm not trying to buy a gun and kill someone. Like, that's not like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm not trying to become a criminal is what I'm trying to say. Like, what I'm doing is I know that there's something that can make me happy, and I just want to do it. Like, I'm not trying to do anything that's gonna destroy something, or to do,
right. And honestly, in the effort of failure, you ultimately, in the bigger picture, you really end up usually helping yourself, and it's oftentimes the weak-willed ones, if you would put it so bluntly, that end up not being able to get themselves out, or get stuck in ruts, or turn to drug use, or heavy addicts, whatever you want to call it. But then those, honestly, the most empowered and successful people, I would say, are the ones who have hit rock bottom and turned around and realized their potential success
'cause
and
everyone
failures.
fails, but like it's all about what you do from there.
Exactly.
There's a great Yoda
And
quote.
it's always getting back up.
There's a great from Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I know you don't like Star Wars, but like there's a great Yoda quote where like actually mostly all the Yoda quotes are pretty good, but failure is the greatest teacher of all. And like when I saw that movie and I heard that, I'm like, oh my god, I failed so many times trying to make a business, but I've learned so much through that. You know, like I failed, but like I've learned, and now I have something that's successful now because of those past failures. You know.
Yeah.
And putting those things into perspective, when you fall, like going back to our main thing, like you're like, as I'm trying to skateboard, I'm gonna fall a lot just trying to learn how to do a kickflip, but it's all in the name of progression and in the name of like, you know, when you finally land that kickflip, you know, you did. It's like a feeling of like accomplishment that subsides the failure. You know, it makes you realize what it was all worth it, and that feeling of accomplishment and success. It's in that moment. So yeah,
Exactly.
crazy things, man. I love it.
And it's also crazy to think with the little time we have left.
Yeah.
The people that try to hold you back or say little, or you're gonna fail, or this and that, and all the built up negativity that can be heard from people that don't want to see your
they put
success.
a break on you. They put
Exactly.
brakes on you.
And I personally feel that it's those people that are the most anxious or most fearful. They may have experienced things in their own life and they don't want to see other people like that, but they're probably the most held back people that
Absolutely.
don't even see their own potential, even if it were for the failures.
You're supposed
Like we were
to,
just
yeah.
saying, we're supposed to fail in life to be able to succeed.
Yeah, but it's all in the it's all a perspective. But a lot of people just say you can't do this because of this, and it's like, you know, it gets to be a point of like you start believing those things, but it's all bull crap, you know.
I believe that finding your own perspective is the biggest thing, and if you can really start grasping your own place in the universe, like how minuscule you are, but how powerful you are at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And finding that balance of, I guess, who you are really centers yourself. And
Another good topic for the next video is cults.
is what?
It's cults. Like
Cults,
taking
yeah.
that concept of like you as an individual have so much power to do things, but like it could, you know, you could use it for yourself to better yourself, but you could also, like, it could be easily manipulated. And that's why there's so much craziness going on in the world. Anyway,
So,
that's
next time
that's
on
it.
the
Yeah,
Philosophy Chickens.
dude, that was a good episode. All right, see you guys later. Bye.